What's up, y'all? How are y'all doing on this Friday night? How is it going? I'm so excited about this live because finally, y'all, I cannot believe it. I'm going to be getting the TSA PreCheck with the Navy Federal Flagship credit card where you can do TSA PreCheck or the global entry. So I'm finally going to be doing it. I have an appointment set and I had went ahead and went on the site to sign up. So I'm really excited about it and I wanted to share. So we're going to talk about that. Also, I wanted to talk about possibly, how do you feel about closing credit cards or downgrading credit cards? Because me and a friend of mine today we were talking and she was telling me that she was going to be considering closing a card. And I'm going to tell you, for this year, I am actually considering maybe closing a card or two myself. So I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on it too. And then we're just going to chit chat on some other things. So glad that y'all are here. Just if you have any questions, put them in the chat and we're just going to chit chat and see what's going on. But I hope everybody is having a good week and a good night. Yes. So first, what I want to do, I want to talk about the Navy Federal Flagship. Now, with Navy Federal, I actually have three credit cards. So I have the Navy Federal, I have the Navy Federal Flagship. That was my first one, the Navy Federal More Rewards. And then I got the Navy Federal Cash Rewards. And I've had that one for a year now. And I've had the Navy Federal Flagship since I want to say December of 2019. So I've had that one for a while. And I've been talking about getting the global entry or the pre-check, but I just feel like I've been dragging my feet on it. And finally, because my sister told me that she had went ahead and got it, I said, I'm going to do it. And I did. So I went on the site. So I'm going to show y'all how to do it just in case you want to know. So first, I want to give a shout out to Rome. What's going on? Thanks for joining the chat tonight. Let me know in the chat, do you have the global entry or the pre-check? And it doesn't have to be that you use the credit card to get it, but that's what I'm going to be talking about. So let me share my screen first. But first, we're going to go on to the Navy Federal website. So let's go over to the Navy Federal website. Okay, so here we have the Navy Federal Flagship. And right now, if you spend $3,000 within the first 3 months, you can get 30,000 bonus points, which is going to be equivalent to $300. And the good thing about this credit card, for the first 9 months after you opening this credit card, you can get 1.99 interest on this card. I think that this is great. And you can get Amazon Prime for 1 year for free. And that's equivalent to $139. And additionally, because let me go on here, I thought that I saw if you were in active duty, you could get let me see, 5 times the points. Okay, you can get five times the points on military exchange purchases for 4 years, and you can get your $49 annual fee waived for the first 4 years. So I think that's great for active duty military. So I think that is really good. But with the Navy Federal Flagship, you can get 3 times the points on travel, 2 times the points on everything else. And here's where it's stating that you can get $100 credit for global entry or for the TSA PreCheck. Let's see. We have some people in the chat. Let's see. Hey, Paul. How are you doing? I hope that you're doing well. And we have LaRon. How long did you wait to apply for your second Navy Federal credit card? That is a great question. And then let's see. So It is so funny because I got the Navy Federal Flagship in December of 2019. And y'all, really what I did, because I was playing around, y'all, I like to do little testing things. So I was playing around because when I had applied for the Navy Federal Flagship, I did not get my internal score. And I really wanted to get my internal score. And so what I did before 91 days, I had applied for the Navy Federal Cash Rewards card. So I believe that was in 2020, and they had denied me because it had not been 91 days. But I was just trying to test it because I wanted to get the denial because I was hoping that it was going to have my internal score on there, and it did not have my internal score on there, but it did have my my credit score, but not my internal score. So I was just like, oh my goodness. But what I was able to do, I don't think I had got it because it seemed like it took me so long to be able to get my Navy Federal internal score. But what I did, I ended up waiting to get the Navy Federal More Rewards. So maybe it was like 5 or 6 months when I had got my second Navy Federal credit card. And then I ended up getting the More Rewards. So I got the Navy Federal Flagship in December of 2019. And then probably in March or April of 2020, I had got the More Rewards. And then in 2021, December of 2021, I had got the Navy Federal Cash Rewards credit card. So I pretty much waited a little bit. And so that's why I always say, when you are applying for the Navy Federal credit cards, like if I could do it differently, I really feel like I would have waited, because right when I had joined Navy Federal, pretty much not even a month, I had applied for the Navy Federal Flagship, and I actually was only approved for 6,700. So while I did get approved, I really wanted to get a high credit limit because I thought, okay, I'm going to apply, since my credit score was over a 700 at that time. I said, I'm going to apply for the Navy Federal Flagship. I just applied. I didn't do any pre-qualification. At that time, I would just apply for whatever credit card that I really wanted, and I didn't check any stats or anything like that. And then I only ended up getting approved for the $6,700. And I was pretty disappointed because I was just like, dang, that's all I got. And I know that people was getting approved for like 20,000. So I was kind of disappointed. So that's why I say, when you are applying for credit cards, especially with Navy Federal, are you applying because you want to get high limits, or are you applying because you want to get approved? But see, normally when I'm applying, I'm just applying to get approved. But I think this time I was really applying because I wanted to get a high limit, and I did not even get a high limit. But I was not putting any money in my checking account. I was not putting any money in my savings account, and I was not doing direct deposit at the time. So it's just like, what would I expect? Why would I even think that they would give me that much? And then it was once I started doing direct deposit, and then I had the Navy Federal Flagship for several months. So then by that time, I had ended up getting 25,000 on my second credit card, which was the More Rewards. So, by that time, I really had more of a relationship. So that's why I really feel like Navy Federal is more of a relationship type of credit union. Okay, Rome said, I have TSA with my, let me see. I'm not for sure which card that is, but that's pretty good. Let's see, definitely nice when you travel. And I would say, especially this year, I traveled, well, in 2022, I had traveled twice. So I had traveled to Vegas, and then I had traveled to Orlando. But see, the thing is, y'all, when you get to the airport, let me know when you're traveling, how early do you get to the airport? Because y'all, I'll get to the airport kind of early. So, but sometimes even when I do get to the airport early, it's still really packed, and I'll still be kind of sweating a little bit because I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so packed. Am I going to be able to get through? So I don't know, so I think that that's kind of funny. But My sister, she has PreCheck, and she went home on Wednesday, and so she said she gets through pretty fast. So that's why I really want to go ahead and get it. But yeah, let me know in the chat, how early do you get to the airport? No matter if you have TSA PreCheck or not. Let's see. I love people watching in those long lines. Yeah, I can see that because you see a lot. I just like people watching in general. Don't have to wait in the long lines. Yes, you can just go straight through. That is cool. Oh, my laugh. That is funny. Thank you. Let's see. So we're going to go back to this. Okay. So with the Navy Federal Flagship, so I really love this card. This is like my daily driver. I keep it in my wallet. And I'm going to do another video of my first quarter credit cards. So right now, my first quarter credit cards, as of right now, what I've been using is the Navy Federal More Rewards and the Navy Federal Flagship. Because with the Navy Federal More Rewards, I'm getting 3 times the points on groceries, gas, and dining. And then I'll use the Navy Federal Flagship for 2 times the points on everything else. And, it has a $49 annual fee on there. And so, yeah, so I'm so glad. So here is where you want to go. So what you want to do is you want to go on to, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in the chat on the first comment in the chat. Let me see if I can copy it here. Let me see if I can put it in the chat. Okay. So if you're interested in getting TSA PreCheck, I put the website in the chat, and it did not take long at all for me to be able to fill this out. And then what you do is you set up an appointment. And so I set up, well, you can set up an appointment and it'll give you a lot of different places to go, or you can just go do the walk-in. So next week, I'm just gonna do the walk-in so that I can go ahead and get it. But see, the only thing that I was thinking today is like, could I possibly get the global entry? Because this was for the PSA, this was for the TSA PreCheck, and I really wanted to do the global entry. Well, yeah. So you do not need to apply for the TSA PreCheck if you already have the global entry. So I'm going to ask them about this when I go, if I could do that. Yeah, because Rome says definitely clutch, especially if you're going out of the country too. So I think that that's right. So yeah, it's very simple. You'll have to, so when I go, I'm going to have to take my passport. So I have to take my passport, my license, and then I'll do this. So I'm pretty excited. And so what I'll do, I'll make sure that I use my Navy Federal Flagship, but I already have that one in my wallet. I always, so I'll be good. And I will get a credit for $100. So I'm excited about that. And what I really like about Navy Federal, and I'm going to have to see if they're going to do it this time, because right here, it's stating that you can get Amazon Prime, because I want to say a few years ago, they had did to where you can get the Amazon Prime. And so when I had first got the Navy Federal Flagship, I believe you got 40,000 or 45,000 in bonus reward. So that's $400 or $450. And then the next year they gave you Amazon. But even though I did not, it was like a whole year later, I still was able to get Amazon Prime for free. They gave me a credit. And I believe in 2022 they had gave me another credit. So I'm hoping that I'll get a credit this year for my Amazon Prime. And so that's what I really like about Navy Federal. For some things, you'll still be able to get the perk after you had originally applied for the credit card. So I'm just hoping, because I've already had to pay my $139, and so I'm hoping that I'll get it back. Let's see. Okay, Rome said, I think you're gonna have to get fingerprinted. Okay, that is no problem. And let's see, do you believe if you got approved for 25,000 on the flagship first, it's more likely that you will have higher chances of getting the more rewards or the platinum after 91 days. You know what? I think this is, Lauren, this is a great question. So I think that's why I would suggest, especially for your first credit card, I would not, if you just join Navy Federal, I would not just apply, how I did. I would wait because I feel like you really have to get a relationship. And I really want to, because there was this one person that he was putting his strategy in some of the videos that I was making on Navy Federal. And so he had joined Navy Federal, I believe, in July. And he stated that he really wanted to get approved for 20 to 25,000 on his first credit card. And I believe it was the Navy Federal Flagship. So what he did when he joined Navy Federal, he ended up getting he got the flagship checking accounts, and I believe he ended up doing the pledge loan, but it was for more. It was maybe for like 3,000 or more. It wasn't just like $250. So he was really building that relationship, and I think that he ended up doing some other things. So he joined, he did either he did direct deposit or he was depositing money, and he had several other products with Navy Federal. And he waited 3 months because he said he was going to apply in November. So in November, he applied and he got approved for 20,000 with the Navy Federal Flagship. It was either 20 or 20,000. And so I think that's how you can, it's not necessarily a guarantee, but I feel like you're building more relationship at that point, doing it that way. And then I think that's how you can possibly, let's see, here it is right here. I think that's how you can possibly have higher chances of getting a higher credit limit. Because if you think about it, with my first credit card with Navy Federal, I wasn't with them that long, only a month, and I had only got approved for 6,700. But by the time I had applied for the Navy Federal More Rewards, and I believe it was 6 months, but it could have been just a little bit longer. So I don't want to, lie on that. But I know it was a little bit longer when I had applied for the Navy Federal More Rewards. But that time I had the Navy Federal Flagship for several months. I was doing direct deposit. I believe I even had my car at that time too. So I had several things, several products with Navy Federal. So then by the time I had applied for the Navy Federal More Rewards, I got 25,000. And then when I applied for my third credit card, the Navy Federal Cash Rewards, but it was probably a year or several months after that when I applied for the Navy Federal Cash Rewards, I got approved for 14,000. And so that wasn't too bad, but I had actually applied for 2 credit cards that day. And so I don't know if maybe since I had applied for other credit cards, because today I was also talking about, when I had applied for the Navy Federal Flagship the first time, I had really applied for 3 other credit cards around that time. So I feel like my credit report was kind of hot at that time because I was really applying for a lot of credit cards at that time. So I would possibly consider around that time, maybe not applying for so many credit cards, just being kind of cool and creating more of a strategy when you're applying for, especially if you're wanting to get a higher limit, just in my opinion. Let's see. Opening flagship checking, use as much of their products as possible. I think that is totally 100%. Okay, LaRon said, I'm in the military, been with Navy Federal since 2010. Wow. So you really been with Navy Federal for a while. That is amazing. And thank you so much for your service. Let's see. Rome said, let's see, Paul, you can move those 2 flagships. If you okay. Ty, what's up, Ty? How are you doing tonight? I got 25,000 on my Navy Federal flagship as well. That is amazing. I think that that is really good. And Rome said he got 30,000 on his Navy Federal flagship. That is amazing. That is so good. Ty said my cash rewards was also 14,000. That's crazy. They must be using random numbers. And you know what, Ty? Let us know how soon after you had got your Navy Federal flagship did you apply for the Navy Federal cash rewards, and let's kind of see what is the difference. Okay, let me see. So Ty said, "Oh, okay. So the Navy Federal Cash Rewards was your first credit card, and that one was 14,000. And I was surprised that I got that limit. Looking back, Navy Federal is generous with their limits. I definitely agree that Navy Federal is generous with their limits. So that is really good. And I think that with the Navy Federal flagship, the highest credit limit that you can get on that one is 80,000. But see, the thing is, you can only have 80,000 for all 3 credit cards. So would you rather have one credit card for 80,000, or would you rather have multiple credit cards with Navy Federal? Let's see, I got the cash reward card first, and then years before that I had got the flagship. Okay. Let's see. LaRon said, "Can you rank credit cards easiest to hardest?" So the credit cards that I have, and I'm not for sure if that's what you're asking. So the credit cards that I have is Rome said, not every you now look, you already know I like to be dining and not going to the grocery store, because this is a quick funny, kind of funny, because me and a friend of mine, we were talking today because we were talking about credit cards, and I love to talk about credit cards, y'all. And she was telling me about, she has one of the, I want to say it is the American Express. It's the preferred, I believe. And so it has a $95 annual fee. And I believe on that credit card, you can get 6 times the points for dining. And I was laughing because I'm like, I think that's why you really have to know what categories you really spend. Because let's say for me, getting 6 times the points for groceries, that's not really going to benefit me, because I really like to dine. So I thought that was so funny. So yeah, y'all, like, I love to dine. So I thought it was so good last year when Navy Federal had did the 5 times the points with the Navy Federal flagship on dining. It was on dining, groceries, and gas. So I thought that was so cool, but I really would have thought they would have done it on the Navy Federal More Rewards. So I really didn't understand that aspect. So I would say so Lauren said rank your credit cards, the hardest, the easiest. So I'm going to say the hardest credit cards, y'all, out of all the credit cards, because normally I would just apply for any credit card. If there's a credit card that I wanted, I would just apply. And I would say for the Chase credit cards, except for my Chase Southwest card. So I have the Chase Southwest card, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and then I have the Chase IXG. Do you know that I had actually got denied for the Chase IXG? And that was the first credit card that I had got denied for. I was just like, whoa, because usually when I would get a credit card, I would just apply and I would always get approved. Like, I would never think that I would get denied for a credit card. And so when I had applied for the Chase IXG, they denied me. But see, the thing is, at that time, even though I don't think I was close, I don't know how close I was to the 5 and 24 for the Chase. So to me, I feel like Chase is kind of the hardest, because I feel like they're kind of strict. And it seems like with the Navy Federal, with the Chase credit card, so the IHG, they had denied me, and I ended up calling and I got reconsidered. But the thing is, they took some of my credit limit from, at the time, my Chase Southwest credit card. So I believe I probably had either between 11 and 13,000 credit limit on that one, but I can't remember 100%. So when I had applied for the Chase, when I had applied for the Chase ISG, you only had to spend like $2,000 within 3 months to get 160,000 points. So basically, when I got that one, I ended up just transferring $3,000 from my Chase Southwest credit card over to that one. And so technically, I wasn't approved, but I was approved because I took the money from the one credit card. So I hope that makes sense. So then by the time in 2020, when I had applied for the Chase Sapphire Preferred, do you know that technically, even though they didn't deny me, they reconsidered me because they were stating with my Chase Southwest credit card and my Chase ISG that I had low usage on those credit cards. And they made me, well, no, they took money from one of my other credit cards, 5,000, because with the Chase Sapphire Preferred, I want to say that the lowest limit that you can have on that one is $5,000. So they took $5,000 from one of my credit cards in the Chase. So either my Chase ISG or the Chase Southwest card, one of those, they took 5,000, and that's how I ended up getting approved. So I'm just like, on the one hand, I kind of got denied, but then I got approved. So I was just like, so 3 of my Chase credit cards, technically I was denied but approved. So I'm just like, me and Chase, I don't know. So I would say that with Chase, I kind of, it's like the hardest for me with Chase. It's just, I don't know, they don't seem to it's like I feel like they're kind of strict on the front end, but then on the back end they're really good, because I love Chase Portal. And then even with Chase, I had applied for the Chase Marriott Bonvoy. I would say that's the only one that they didn't deny me for. So technically, I really have 4 Chase credit cards, but I don't have that one anymore because I closed it. And they had so when that one had a $95 annual fee. So when it came back around, when it was about to be time for me to pay for the annual fee, I ended up closing the card and moving the credit limit over to other credit cards. And so I was able to keep that credit limit. So I thought that was really good. But so it's like I really like Chase, but then on the same hand, I feel like they're kind of strict on the one hand. That's just me. And then I would say the easiest. So let's say the easiest is definitely gonna be the Navy Federal, the Navy Federal credit cards. I believe that they're the easiest. And then I have the Discover. I think Discover is pretty easy. And see, like, how I really approach credit is, that's why I really feel like credit literacy and understanding our credit is very important, because on the one hand, I feel like you should be able to apply for any credit card that you want, but we have to kind of understand their guidelines, because on the one hand, I'm really applying for, quite a bit of credit cards. So if they pull my credit report around that time and they saw a lot of inquiries, or if I have a credit card, like I had those 2 Chase credit cards and I really wasn't using them, then I could possibly see that they could consider, well, why should we approve you for this credit card and you're not really using those 2 credit cards? So I think that's the one, kind of, to me, the one difficulty of having a whole lot of credit cards. And so that really kind of takes me into the next topic, which is closing credit cards. Let's see. So Ty said, I'm debating between the Chase Freedom Flex Unlimited or the Limited or the Discover It. and end up getting the Discover, okay, for the first year offer. Now, I really think it depends because I really like the I think that the Chase Freedom Flex is good. Either the unlimited, I think either one of those, because I really think if you got the Chase trifecta, because I was talking to my friend about this one today too, you can really maximize your travel points if you got the Chase Freedom Flex, and it's another Chase card. I can't think of it right now. And then the Chase Sapphire Preferred. If you get those three credit cards, you can maximize your points on that. And so I think I would like that. But what I would say is I would always apply for the Chase cards before I apply for the Discover It, because I think it's going to depend on your credit report and how many credit cards you have been applying for, because I just feel like Chase is a little bit, like I was saying before, I feel like, they're a little bit more stricter. So I would probably use that strategy a little bit more if I was considering applying for one of the Chase cards. So what I would do, I would apply for the Chase first and then the Discover It, because I love the Discover It, but I think you're going to get more points with the Freedom Flex. But the Discover It, let's see what they have going on. Let's see. The Discover It. But I love my Discover It, y'all. So I have had that card for a minute. So yes, because they have the cash back here. Let me share my screen with y'all. Okay, so the Discover It, and it depends on which one, because they have the travel card, they have the gas card, but I think I would probably just do the cash back. That's the one that I have. Okay, yeah. So Ty said, I like to Discover It too. Just got it in October. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with that Discover It. Like, if anybody asks me what credit card like a good starter credit card, I'm always gonna say the Discover It. Like, this card is amazing, and then especially with the 5 times the cash back, and I feel like the first year you can end up pretty much getting 10% cash back on your first year. Let's see. Yeah, so with the Discover It, you'll earn cash back, and then we'll match your first year. And so you're going to get 5 times the points, and it's going to really depend on the category. So we're in the first quarter. So right now for the first quarter, you're going to get 5% cash back on grocery stores, drug stores, and select streaming, up to 1,500 when you activate it. And so I haven't activated any of my Discover It categories right now, so I might want to really consider that. And plus, it doesn't have an annual fee. And the great thing about the the great thing about the Discover It, so right here it's stating 0% APR for the first 15 months on new purchases and balance transfers, but they do have a 3% intro balance, and then it's going to be 16.24% after that. So usually what I'm going to say is the Discover It is a great, I think that's just a really good card too. And then especially if you get this card and then you'll have no interest for 15 months, that's really good. But then also if you want to do a balance transfer, because when I first got the Discover It, I did a balance transfer from one of my Bank of America credit cards over to the Discover It, and I had zero annual fee for 15 months. So I think that that is really good. Let's see. Ty said, I already switched to payment for my streaming, which is good for the first quarter. I think that, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I definitely like the Discover It. It is a really good card. And I would say, like, the Discover It and the American Express credit cards, for the first 15 months, you can get no annual fee. So, I think that is really good. And so for I have the American Express everyday credit card. And so I use that card from time to time. And so I'll pay all my credit cards off. But I would say for my American Express everyday credit card, I'll go kind of like a little bit. So I usually leave 2 or 7% on that credit card so I can report. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to start, because I'll report on different credit cards. I'll try to rotate them, but I'm always reporting on my Navy Federal credit cards and then my American Express. But I have a Citi credit card, and I've had that one the longest. And so I really want to keep that credit card because, when you think about your credit score, your length of credit, that's what's going to help you as well. And so since I've had that credit card for so long, I don't want to close that one. But when I'm thinking about closing credit cards, if I've had the credit card less than a year or two, I definitely will consider closing the credit card. And because when me and my friend was talking earlier, and she was just like, because I think now she has a couple credit cards, several credit cards, maybe like 8. And so she was just like, she might consider closing a credit card. And I was just like, well, does it have an annual fee on it? Because if it doesn't have an annual fee on it, then one, I might not close it if it doesn't have an annual fee. But then two, sometimes when you don't use the credit cards and you're not reporting, sometimes they'll either slash your credit limit or they will close the credit card. And so that's what happened to me with Bank of America. I had 2 credit cards with them, and I believe with both of those credit cards, I probably had maybe like a 20 to 30,000 credit limit. But I didn't have any balance on the credit card, and I wasn't using the credit card probably for a while, a long while. And they ended up just closing the credit card, not even giving me any time or sending me an email or a message saying, well, we're going to close this credit card if you don't make any purchases on it, because I would have rather for them to maybe slash the credit limit and then I could have kept the credit card opposed to closing it, because I was so nervous since I had the credit card for, like 15 years and they were going to close it. I was just like, oh my goodness. But I still have one credit card that I've had for a while. So I want to make sure that I'm reporting on that credit card. But one credit card that I'm going to consider either downgrading or closing is my Chase IHG credit card, because that one has an $89 annual fee. And I'm just like, ugh, when the annual fee comes around, I'm just like, I do not want to pay the annual fee. And so I'm just like, So I might consider downgrading it, because I have the Chase IHG Premier, but I can downgrade it to just the Chase IHG Traveler if I'm not making a mistake. So I'm considering doing that since I haven't had it, well, because I've had it for 2, maybe 3. So I'm really kind of on the cusp. So I really need to determine if I'm going to close it. So I'm really going to do that. Let's see. Rome said, I feel you, team, no annual fee. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I definitely prefer, it's just like, I was just laughing today. And thank you so much, Journey to Credit. I really appreciate you. I really feel you on the annual fee, because I'm just like, because I've been considering getting the American Express Gold card. Y'all, I'm just like, am I that? It's like, even though me and D Sledge, because y'all have to go over to his channel, because basically we both did a video talking about annual fee credit cards. And I'm just like, I don't know why I'm just so against an annual fee. But on the same hand, I understand an annual fee, because I do feel like sometimes you get more perks with the annual fees sometimes. So with the American Express everyday credit card. Well, no, yeah, with the American Express Gold Card, it's a $250 annual fee. And I know people always talk about the credits, the $240 credits for the Uber Eats and Uber Dining. But some people have made comments telling me that with the Uber Eats and Uber Dining, some kind of way, if I do it like a pickup or something, I could use it as a $10 credit. So I do want to take a look at that because I don't do Uber Eats, and I rarely, just a couple of times during the year, do I do Uber. So, for that credit, it's not going to be that beneficial for me. And then for the dining credit, they have some restaurants, even though they have two restaurants that I really like on there, it's not that I just go to those restaurants every month. So it's like a long span before I go to those restaurants. But the one good thing with the American Express Gold Card, I do think that that's a really good travel card as well. And plus, you're going to get 4 times the points on dining, because I really want to get the 4 times the points on dining. So that's why I really want it. But I think that I would get more bang out of the first year, but I just don't know about the second year. So I feel like my thought process is just so different, because I'm just like, I like the gold card, but I'm just like, I really don't feel like it fits me 100% for a $250 annual fee. So, I mean, that's just me, but I'm kind of slowly coming around it, because it's like, I won't think about it. And then I'll kind of think about it. I'm just like, maybe, maybe I should do it. And it was so funny because originally, like a few weeks ago, they had it to where you get 90,000 membership reward points. And so that's really $900. So it's just like, wow, to get 900 membership reward points is pretty good. But now it's back down to 60,000. So that's only $600. So I'm just like, ugh. But I'm just like, I just don't want to pay the $250 annual fee. And I'm just like, I just don't want to do it. So Ty said, I'm not really trying to pay no annual fee as well. That's what I'm talking about. I do have the Flagship, $50. Yes. And you get a free year of Amazon. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like, I really agree with this one. And see, the one good thing about the Navy Federal Flagship is that you can use your points. So let's say for me, even though I like to use the card for, like, I've gotten a Fitbit with the card before. I got both headphones with my points. And then I get gift cards and stuff like that with my points. And then one time I paid my annual fee with my points. So that's why I really like it. And then that's what I'm saying. And then plus being able to get Amazon Prime and all that kind of stuff. So, oh, Debt Free Dad. What's up, Debt Free Dad? So, Debt Free Dad, he just got the American Express Gold Card. And I feel like he is really, because I think he maybe only had one credit card that had an annual fee on there. And then he got this one with the $250 annual fee, because it's just like, technically, I have 4 credit cards that have annual fees on there, and right now I'm paying $306 in annual fees. So I'm just like, if I get the American Express Gold Card, that's gonna take me up to $556 in annual fees. So I don't know about that. Okay. So Debt Free Dad said 60,000 points is worth $600. Ooh, I wish it was $6,000 cash back. Yeah, with 1,000 in travel rewards. Yeah, 2 times. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I totally get it. So I know that it doesn't make sense 100% when I say that I don't want to pay the $250, because on the one hand, I don't really have a reason 1,000% to say. It's just like, why can't I just go ahead and pay the annual fee on there? So I just think it's so funny. But I feel like when the rewards come around, when it's time to pay for the annual fee, I'll be like, dang, really? This annual fee came around. And I'm just like, no, I don't want it. So I don't know. So I get what you're saying, debt free dad. I get what you're saying, but I don't know. Still, on the one hand, I don't want to do it. But y'all, this is what I'm saying, because even like when I got the Bose headphones, because y'all, I love, those headphones with the, like the free headphones with the iPhones. So I love those headphones. And I would never, like, you could not catch me buying headphones. And so it's like I would not buy headphones. But then one year I used my points to get me the Bose headphones. So it's like I would rather use my points to get the Bose headphones than use my money, even though. So it's just like kind of stuff like that. So I kind of see it the same way with the annual fee. It's just like, I don't want to use my own money to pay for the annual fee. So y'all, I just need help. I don't know. But yeah, I just thought that was so funny. But I'll buy a Fitbit, because this is like probably the fourth Fitbit, but it's like those headphones, because those wireless headphones, they was probably like $200. I'm just like, whoa, I would never pay $200 for no headphones. I'm just like, I don't know if that's cheap, but I would never pay $200 for no headphones. And so I thought by using my points to get the headphones, even though it was money that I had spent, throughout the year. So I don't know. Let's see. What did the Jeffrey Dad say? LOL. I just got some expensive headphones after years of the cheap ones. That is so funny. But see, what's so bad though, Jeffrey Dad? I would not even want to pay $20 for headphones. I would not even want to pay $20 to get no headphones. And so, y'all, it was so funny. But I love the Apple headphones. Now, I still have the wireless ones. So it's so funny because, I love going walking and stuff. And you'll be walking and you see everybody with these the wireless headphones and stuff, and then I'll be the only one that still has the wireless, the wire headphones. But I'm just like, it doesn't even matter. But I still have my Bose headphones, but it's like I'll use both of them. So I'm just like, it is just so funny. That is just hilarious. Oh my gosh. And that, I know this is kind of off topic, but I think that's kind of the same thing, because it was so funny because my sister, hold on, let me see. What did the Deputy Dad say? He said the cheap ones broke so often, an expensive pair was worth it. Ooh, so he got the Samsung earbuds too, and a Galaxy. Oh, wow. Got the Galaxy watch. Wow, that is really good. But I still feel like I'm kind of cheap, because I have an Apple Watch, but I mean, not an Apple Watch. I have the Fitbit, but then on the same hand, this Fitbit wasn't cheap. But I did get it on sale, because originally when I had got it, it was like $300, because I had got it from Best Buy, and then they ended up having a sale, so I went back and got my it was like $150 or something. So I feel the same way for like an Apple Watch or something like that, because I'm just like, whoa, that is, because those Apple Watches and some of these sport watches, they can really end up being a whole lot of money. And so I don't know. It's like sometimes I'm kind of cheap, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I can be kind of cheap, but then on the same hand, sometimes I'll spend money, but I guess it has to be on, like, I'll spend money on trips, and especially for food. Like, I'll spend money on food, but some other things. Uh-oh, let me see. Rome said Android. No, no, no. Let's see. Kamar, happy new year, Kamar. I hope that you're doing well. Oh, Kamar, you're just coming in. No, I'm not going to cancel the Navy Federal Flagship. What I was talking about in the beginning, so we were talking about, finally, I'm going to be getting the TSA PreCheck, and I'm going to be doing that with the Navy Federal Flagship. But then also, I was discussing possibly Like, how do you feel about canceling credit cards? So I have another credit card, the Chase IXG credit card, that I'm considering maybe canceling or downgrading it. And so I was just asking you guys, what are your thoughts on canceling credit cards? So I will cancel credit cards because technically I've had 4 credit cards with Chase, because I had the Chase Marriott Bonvoy, but I only had it 1 year and I ended up canceling it. So I will cancel credit cards, but it really depends on how long have I had that credit card. And so, with credit cards, let's say if I've had it maybe like, I don't know, especially if I've had it for over 10 years, most of the time I'm not going to want to close that credit card. But if it's a credit card that maybe I've had for 2 years or maybe 3 years, I might consider closing it. Let's see. Deputy Dad said Apple Watches only have one ring, and Apple Watch went off in the stores. And then that's funny. And then everyone looked at their watch. That is hilarious. But what is hilarious is just like, even for my Apple Watch, it does so many things. But really, I like my watch. Did I say Apple Watch? No, with my Fitbit. I keep saying Apple Watch, but my Fitbit, I really just use it. I like to use it to track my sleep. I like to use it to track my resting heart rate. What is my resting heart rate? And my steps. I like to track my steps, even though, y'all, because I love walking. And probably for 6 months straight, I had walked 5 miles a day. It was maybe so really almost, I had got almost to 100 days where I had did like 10,000 steps straight. But pretty much I had walked maybe like 6 months straight. I walked every day, almost like 5 miles. So I love keeping track. But for the last like 6 weeks, since it's been cold, I really haven't been walking a whole lot. And so it's like, sometimes, like, normally I only take my watch off to take a shower and but really, like, sometimes I haven't even been sleeping in it. So I'm trying to get back into, because I went and got me some sneakers. So I want to get back into walking a little bit more again. Let's see, every day I said, yo, the Galaxy 5 Pro battery lasts for like 3 days. That's crazy. Okay, because I hate charging my watch daily. I don't mind. I feel like the Fitbit, it charges pretty fast. And normally I'll charge it. I think I pretty much charge it every day, because I'll charge it when I get in the shower. Let's see. Rome said technically the Navy Federal Flagship is their best card. But you know what? Because I did a poll on my community tab, I'm gonna have to find this. And I guess it's debatable. But what I will say is that I feel like the Navy Federal Flagship, I feel like it's their premier card. It is definitely their premier card. But here, let me see if I can find it on my community tab. Y'all have to go on my community tab. Hold on. Let me share my screen with y'all. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Y'all look at my plant. I love plants, y'all, because so y'all can see that I have plants back here, and then this is my plant downstairs. Y'all, I went camping in November. I cannot believe I slept in a tent. But this year, I'm gonna definitely go camping more than one time. I do want to go camping again this year, so I'm so excited about it. And then I went kayaking, so I do want to go kayaking again. And then I do hiking, so I love doing that kind of outdoor stuff, and biking. And y'all, I'm definitely gonna get a bike this year. So I've been looking at bikes and stuff. So let me see, where is it? Let me see. Where can I find it? Oh, that was 10 months. So I think it was the Navy Federal More Rewards card was the top credit card. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I know that it's here, but I think it was the Navy Federal More Rewards was the top credit card. Oh man. Let's see. But yeah, y'all. Oh, here we go. Okay. So this was 10 months ago. So the Navy Federal More Rewards, yes, that was the top credit card. But what's so funny though is maybe like a year ago when I did it, the Cash Rewards was the top credit card. And I'm like, how in the world was the Navy Federal Cash Rewards the top credit card? I thought that was crazy. And then, so it's going to be the Navy Federal More Rewards is 40%. Then coming in a second was the Navy Federal Cash Rewards with 28%. And then the Navy Federal Flagship was the third. So maybe what I'll do is I will actually see if I'll do another poll on my community tab to possibly see if the Flagship is going to be the if that's going to be the best card. So I will do that because we need to do another. We need to see if people have changed their minds because I was surprised that it ended up being the More Rewards because when I had did the first one, it was the Navy Federal Cash Rewards. I'm like, y'all, I can't believe that y'all said that the Navy Federal Cash Rewards card was the favorite, and then still in second was the Navy Federal More Rewards, but then it flipped. And so, but if you ask me, I'm gonna let me see. Hold on, wait. Let me see. So HR said, stop hating on the Cash Rewards card. I am hating on the Cash Rewards card so hard because to me, I feel like you have to get the Navy Federal More Rewards credit card because you're going to get 3 times the points. So I would rather get 3 times the points than 1.75. So that's just my opinion. So HR said, what's up, HR? How are you doing? HR says, yes. I don't think I've ever, I think it's been a while. I think it's been a while since you have been live because I feel like it was the first time that you had came on the live was when we were talking about leaving a balance on a credit card. I could be wrong, but I thought about that. But let me see. Ty said the Cash Rewards definitely is not the best credit card. Exactly. It's not a bad card, but the highest you can get is 1.75, which is a really good point. Might as well be 2%. Exactly. I totally agree with you, Ty. It's just like, I really feel like Navy Federal should consider changing up their cards. Let me see. Okay, so Kamar said the Navy Flagship for travel. It's like, I agree, the Navy Flagship for travel, but I feel like even 1 year, I did not do any travel and I had the Navy Federal Flagship. And I still feel like, even with 2 times the points, because my daily drivers are going to be the Navy Federal More Rewards, then the Navy Federal Flagship. And I feel like I'm still able to accrue a lot of points for my Navy Federal Flagship. So it's just like, honestly, y'all, I really don't use it for travel. I use it for everything else, 2 times the points for everything else. But I am going to be getting the PreCheck. So I'm going to get the $100 credit for the PreCheck. But, when I'm purchasing my travel, it really depends on, so I might use my Chase Sapphire Preferred, or I might use my Chase Southwest. So it's really going to depend, and I think that that's kind of the downside of having so many credit cards, kind of, in my opinion. Rome said too funny. Exactly. He said the Navy Federal Flagship is for travel, and then the more rewards is for everyday spending. And so, um, I would say yes, the more rewards definitely for everyday spending because I use the more rewards because for dining and gas, hands down. And then I use the Navy Federal Flagship for everything else. And then from time to time, I will use the other credit, my other credit cards. Let's see, HR. Yeah, you're right. Maybe because no, maybe because I was denied for the more rewards card. I have the cash rewards cards and the platinum, but I think that that's good. Navy Federal is sick of me now. Navy Federal is sick of me now. Now I'm on to Penn Fed. Wow. You know what? I don't know. I would have to see because that is not right that Navy Federal denied you for the more rewards. That is just so wrong. But I would have to, it's just like, why do you think that they denied you? Do you feel like possibly you are applying for a lot of other credit cards around the time or something like that? Because was it less than the 91 days before you had applied for the other credit cards? Because that's what happened to me. Because the one time I had the Navy Federal, Flagship, and then I end up, I don't think it was actually I think my second card was the Navy Federal more rewards and then less than the 91 days, but really I was trying to get denied. And so because I wanted to get my Navy Federal internal score. And so they did deny me. And so I do think depending on when you had applied for it, because I feel like sometime last year, it really kind of was like a credit crunch. And so I feel like they were slashing credit cards and not really doing a whole lot of approvals. So possibly, maybe it could have been something like that. So, but I do think with the platinum credit card, especially they're having the lowest interest rate, and then the cash rewards card, because I'm not gonna hate totally on the cash rewards card, but I'm really not using the cash rewards card. I do have one item that I think it's my cable bill. So I have that coming off of my Navy Federal cash rewards card because I, want to make sure that I have spend on that. Let's see. Ty said, yeah, the flagship and the more rewards pair well because you can use the more rewards for gas and food and then the flag. Yep, exactly. Like that's what I do. And I have, let me see. So Ty also said flagship can be with the two. Exactly. Okay, with the 460 internal score. Let's see. My adverse letter said my account was new. Whoa, but that's a lie. They also said I didn't have, okay, with my installment loan. Okay, but now they're reporting it. They also said I didn't have some time of the installment loan on my credit report. Okay, so maybe they're just waiting for you to get more of a length of credit or something for you to get more things reporting on your credit report. That's possible, but I think I maybe would have done a reconsideration. Did you do a reconsideration at the time? I think I would have maybe done that. But wow, HR, this is a question that I have for you. Okay, with you, so you did apply for the more rewards. So you would rather have the more rewards over the flagship because especially with you having the Navy Federal cash rewards and then the Navy Federal platinum credit card, would you would rather have the more rewards than the platinum credit card? I mean, than the flagship credit card? Okay, yes. He said, do wrong. Oh my gosh, this is really good. Do a product change. I think that is a really good suggestion to do a product change. So, HR, tell me, what do you think about this? Would you do a product change for the Navy Federal More Rewards card over your cash rewards card, or the Navy Federal Platinum credit card? Which one of those? I mean, if it was me, I think I would probably, I think it would be the cash rewards. Cash rewards got to go. I'm telling you, the cash rewards got to go. But let me know, what do you think about that? Because that is kind of what I'm thinking. I think I would probably do a product change, or maybe wait, because like your internal score is pretty good. Let me see. So HR said I would, but I don't want another annual fee. Okay, hold on, HR, because HR, I believe you was trying to get on my case for not getting the American Express Gold Card because I did not want the $250 annual fee. So that is hilarious. I think it was you, HR, but you'll have to let me know in the comments. Yeah, but totally, you could do, even if you didn't want to do the flagship, I would still say the more rewards. Okay. And Ty said, I switched out my cash rewards card for the more rewards card. Yes, I think that that's great. So you have the more rewards and the flagship. So I think that's really good. Do you think that you would consider getting another Navy Federal credit card? Because you can get 3 Navy Federal credit cards. So would you consider getting a third one? And if so, which one would it be? But HR, you have to let me know if you was on my case for not getting the American Express Everyday credit card. You're gonna have to, I mean, the American Express Gold Card. You're gonna have to let me know. I thought that was you. That was so funny. Let me see. Gilbert 512 said they did a product change from the Navy Federal Platinum credit card to the to the flagship, and they were glad that they did. You know, I think because even in that poll, the Navy Federal Go Rewards and the Navy Federal Platinum card, they're usually neck and neck as probably the least favorite of the Navy Federal credit cards. But I will say that the Navy Federal Platinum credit card, it still has its place, because it's really going to depend on, like, are you carrying a balance on your credit cards? Because with the Navy Federal, let me see if I can pull this up over here again. With the Navy Federal Platinum credit card, it has the lowest interest rates of all of the credit cards. So it depends on if you're leaving a balance on the credit card. I think it would be beneficial to have the platinum credit card, because you're going to have a lower interest rate. So right now it's a 9.74 to 18%. And that really depends on if you can get the lowest interest rate. But I would say for me, I have the lowest interest rate for all of my Navy Federal credit cards. But so if you can get the 9.74 interest rate, if you're carrying a balance, then I think that the Navy Federal Platinum credit card is a good credit card. So, I can kind of see that. And then the Go Rewards, that one, even though I think that that's a good credit card too, you don't really hear people talking too much about the Go Rewards. Okay, so it says you can save on interest with the low intro APR for 9 months after opening on the balance transfer, and you can earn 10,000 points within 90 days. So that's going to be equivalent to $1,000. Well, you have to spend $1,000. So I think that's pretty good. What's up, Nino? How are you doing? I hope that you are doing well tonight. How is New York treating you? Is it really cold up there? That's the only thing about New York. I love New York, but I'm just like, ooh, it just gets so cold. And I really do not like the cold weather because it got cold here in Nashville the weekend of Christmas, and y'all, it was like below 11. And we ended up because I know they were doing like the rolling blackouts, but my power had ended up going out for almost like a whole day. And I was just like, but ended up going to a hotel. But I was like, y'all, it was so cold when I had went out to start the car, and it was like below 11. It was like really like a minute. I could not even take it. Let's see. The only reason why I got the platinum card, because it was the lowest interest rate, just in case I ever have to carry a balance. Like Ty is so smart, because she did get that card, but she ended up doing a product change. But then also, because I think that's something definitely to take a look at, when you are considering applying for credit cards, because even like she just applied for the Discover It in October, and see that one has a 15 months no interest on new purchases and balance transfers. So to have a credit card, especially since with the interest rates being so high, because I feel like with my Chase credit cards, like the interest rates are like 26.99%. And I think with my Discover it might be 19.99% on that one. But then with my Navy Federal cards, like they're way below the industry standard for all of the other credit cards, because even with the Go Rewards, right now they have 12.74. That's a pretty good interest rate compared to, like 26%, 15%. But yeah, I'm not gonna say like I have paid my fair share of interest over the years, but for the past maybe 6 years now, I don't pay interest on credit cards. I pay the credit card off every month, and or because I really like to do the credit card utilization hack, where I will leave maybe like 2 or 7% on my credit card, and then I'll pay it off after the statement date. So technically, you have really about 5 weeks or so to where, let's say, if you wanted to put some on your credit card and you didn't have the money, you could use the credit card utilization hack and still not pay interest on the credit card. So I really like that. But I pay the credit cards off every month. Let's see. So Nino said, I just need to get one more Navy Federal credit card to complete the trifecta. Which one do you want to get next? Rome said, Go Biz right now. Let's see. Go Biz right on time. 2, doesn't report to utilization on your personal credit. Hold on. I might have missed one. GoBiz doesn't report. Okay, business credit does not report on, but so whatever I do, 25 limit. Ooh, and just pay the I totally see what you're saying, Rome. And but see that, the thing of it. So he said, yeah, like run that play. You got to run that play, because if you can get a business credit card, it's not going to report on your personal credit. Because see, the thing is, with your personal credit, to me, it's just to me, you always want to make sure that you're not reporting 30% or more on your credit report. And I really feel like you really don't want to report more than, I would say, probably 7%, because on the Experian website, it states that if you want to be a higher achiever, you don't want to report more than 7% on your credit reports. And technically it says you don't want to report over 2,500 on your credit report if you want to be a higher achiever. But I guess that could be debatable. But definitely you want to report less than 30% on your credit report. So what Rome is stating, by getting business credit, because when I had got my American Express Blue Business Cash credit card, one, when I applied for that credit card, it did not report on my credit report. And that's probably one because I already had an American Express everyday credit card. And so, once you get into the American Express ecosystem, your net, whenever you apply for any of the other credit cards, it's a soft pull. They don't report to your credit. So when I got the American Express Blue Business Cash credit card, it did not report to my credit. And then also the credit utilization, it does not report. So I mean, he does have a good point on the business, but still I don't know that I would want to I would not want to run up no 25,000. But if let's say with your business, if you have something, like if you're trying to get products and things like that, and within the next couple of months you're going to be able to recoup that money and you want to run it up, then I feel like you could do that. Let's see. So yeah, higher utilization. Let's see. Nino says I currently have the Flagship and the Cash Rewards card. And yeah, because I thought that you were wanting to get the more rewards, but you'll have to let me know. I think you were wanting to get the more rewards next. It says, but I've been focusing on that Chase trifecta. Exactly. I just need to get the Chase Sapphire Preferred. And see, that's the thing, like when you are trying to, especially like what most of us are kind of doing, like let's say if you're doing credit card hacking or you're going to have to create a strategy. And so that's why I was saying earlier, like I would always apply for the Chase cards first so that I'm not out of the 5 and 24. So I think that's great. So scroll up. I answered you. Okay, hold on. Let me take a look and see. Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me see what HR said. HR says, I have the custom cash card. So there is really so there's the point. Hold on. I know I was yeah, exactly. I thought it was you. I know I was on you about that annual fee, but American Express is the best, allegedly. That's what I definitely I like American Express, but I don't know, would I say Chase over American Express? Because I feel like you could use, like with Chase, I don't know, y'all. I really love the Chase portal and being able to use your points, especially let's say for travel in the Chase portal. Is very easy to be able to do that. And I feel like with Chase, you can do cash back, you can do travel, and you can do so many things with your Chase. To me, with the American Express, those are going to be membership reward points. But I still like American Express, even though I just have the American Express everyday card, and I do have the American Express Blue Business Cash. But I like those cards, so I definitely think it has its perks. So, I feel like to me, what it really comes down to is your categories. Because I feel like with the American Express Gold card, to be able to get that 4 times the points for dining is really good. And I believe with the platinum, you get 5 times the point for dining. And I feel like with the platinum, you get a whole lot of stuff. But I mean, you should, because that one has a $650 annual fee. So yeah. Okay. Rome said, due to pre-qualification. Oh, okay. Just did. I'm saying I'm pre-qualified for, but still. And I feel like, oh, okay, hold on. Let me go back. I think I missed some comments. Gilbert 512 said, I only have the more rewards in the Flagship, not getting a third card. because I like to have two cars with super high credit limits. Since the Navy Federal Flagship only allows you to have 80,000, yeah, and I think that's a good point. Um, LeBrett Change says I have a 695 Vantage with the cash rewards of 4K. Tonight I want to apply for the more rewards. Should I be worried about getting denied? So from what I hear you say, you did pre-qualify. And I think if you pre-qualify, that even though that's not 100%, that's not going to be 100% approval, but it's a high approval. So what I would consider is, how long had it been since you had applied for one of let's see, for your cash rewards card? Had it been over 91 days? Also, how's your credit utilization? I would most definitely try to get my utilization down. Also, and I think somebody else said it too, I would consider increasing my credit score. So how I would do that, I would consider, do you have, like, what's your utilization on your cash rewards card? If you possibly have a mid to high credit utilization on your cash rewards card, I would really consider getting that down, because if you want to increase your credit score fast, and this could be if you have other credit cards as well, you want to get your utilization down, even if it's just for you to be able to apply for credit cards. So if you know that you're going to be applying for credit cards, you got to get that score up, and you got to create a strategy for it. So I would definitely consider getting my credit score up. And 695 is good, but consider getting it to a 7, over a 700, and a 720, I would say that's pretty much a sweeter spot. Let's see. Hold on. Rome said it depends on your relationship. Okay, so basically he said the same thing I said. He said it depends on your relationship. When was the last time you applied for a card? Not just Navy Federal either. And I totally agree with that as well. And so yeah, consider, because when we take a look at our credit score, and to me, that's why I really feel like when we are applying for credit, we definitely really want to take a look at our whole credit profile, because we have our payment history, our credit utilization, our length of credit, our new credit, and our credit mix. And see, our payment history, we want to make sure we don't have those late fees. And I can tell you myself, because I had some late fees on my credit report, and I really feel like that's what was pulling my credit score down. Even though my credit score right now is probably, for my FICO 8, it is I want to say like a 755. And then for my FICO 9, so when I pull my credit score on the so it's going to be TransUnion FICO 9, in my Navy Federal, it's like a 805. So that's pretty good. But I want my FICO 8 credit scores to be high too. And so with me having those late payments, even though I think most of them have fallen off, it's still on there. And I feel like that was negatively impacting my score. But so it's going to take longer for those to fall off, because technically those are really going to report for like 7 years. But then if you're really wanting to increase your credit score fast, if you can tackle your credit utilization, that's how you really tackle your credit score fast, by decreasing your utilization. So make sure to pay those credit cards the lowest you can get it. And then with the length of credit, that's going to take some time for you to be able to get a length of credit. And then the inquiries, technically I would say anything really over 4 or 5, that's not going to look too good on your credit report. And then depending on how long it had, because it's going to stay on your credit report for at least 2 years. But I say probably for 1 year, that's going to kind of impact you. So let's say if you're going to be applying for, or if you had already applied for maybe 2 credit cards within a 6-month period, then I would probably say possibly wait, because when they pull your credit report, they might say, okay, seems like you've been applying for quite a bit of credit. When applying for lower tier, get me higher credit limits than applying for the flagship. Yeah, I would say so, but I think it also depends, because to me, I've been seeing more people that have been applying for the Navy Federal Flagship, and they've been getting 20 and 25,000 credit limits. But see, the only thing is, I feel like if you strategize it a little bit more, and one, not applying for a lot of credit cards around that time, creating that relationship with Navy Federal by doing direct deposit, using some of the other products. And I feel like even with the Navy Federal Flagship, the Navy Federal Flagship checking account, that would be good too. Maybe doing the pledge loan, but for more than the $250, maybe. But y'all know how I feel kind of with the pledge loan too, because for me, I'm not necessarily one that want to have to do a lot of hacks to be able to get the credit I want. I really just want my credit to kind of speak for itself. But if you are trying to apply for credit cards, you still have to really understand what's going to give me the best odds of being able to apply for the credit card. So not having any late payments, having low utilization, having a good length of credit, not applying for a lot of credit cards, but then also with the bank or the credit union, having a good relationship with the bank or credit union. Gilbert said for applying of you're afraid of not being approved, it is also a good idea. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He basically said the same thing about getting a pledge loan with Navy Federal, and that should help your internal score. And see, really what it's about, creating that relationship. So I could possibly see doing, even though it's not going to be my first option, to doing the pledge loan just to get some, that's going to get your credit mix, and then, it's going to help out. So I think it's going to report more on your credit report too. So I think that that's good. And also, a lot of people pay it down 90%. So that's going to help with your utilization as well. Let's see. Nino said, I just did a product change on the Navy Federal Blue Cash Preferred to the American Express Blue everyday annual fee. That's good, because I know you were talking about doing that. And currently, I'm using my newly acquired Chase Freedom Flex and getting 9% on groceries for the first quarter. That is really good to be able to get 9% on the first quarter. And if I remember you correctly, you said you don't eat out a lot and you cook. So I think that that's going to be really good for you, Nino. Because, 9% on groceries is not going to really do me any good, because I'm not really going to the grocery store that much. I'm doing more so dining. But I did go to the grocery store the other day, y'all. So that was pretty good. I'm going to try to do some juicing as well. Let's see. If that utilization is low and you pre-qualified, okay. So HR is saying to do he's doing a hack. Says wait and apply at 1 a.m. your time, and press apply and go for it. Do not apply for credit cards if you have utilization over 30%. So that is what I'm talking about, HR. Very good information. And Rome says, facts, running a pledge loan now for $10,000 for 5 years. Wanted to do $30,000. Whoa, that's pretty good. And then especially because most likely, you'll pay that down 90%. So I think that that's really good. Okay, HR said, yeah, Rome, watching the Real Estate Trapper. I always watch him. Oh, okay. In the Major Change group. That is so cool. Let's see. Ty said the flagship got me the highest credit limit on Navy Federal. That's good. Something about that flagship. Maybe it's the design or the color. I don't know. Let me see. The flagship. I don't know. I would say my favorite credit card in regards to like look probably is gonna be my American Express everyday credit card. I really like the look of that card, but I really like the feel of the Chase Sapphire Preferred card because that one is metal and it just I don't know, it just feels good. So I really like the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Oh, okay. HR says, I would not encourage anyone to get a pledge loan for a small amount. Okay, that's good. At least do $1,000 or do it for more than 6 months. Yes, exactly. I think that this is a great point because when you pay it off, then your score will feel it. And so that's the thing. And I really think that that's going to be because I think it really depends. Because like last year when I paid off my auto loan, my credit score, it did impact my credit score. And then I was considering doing a pledge loan because some people had suggested that I do a pledge loan. I was just like, well, I mean, if I do a pledge loan, and especially if I do it for under a year, or even if I do it for I don't know, because for my credits, for my profile, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. That's just for me. So I feel like that's why you have to look at your profile and see what works for you. But yeah, if you get a pledge loan and you have a, let's say, a no length of credit or a low length of credit, I would definitely consider getting a higher pledge loan with a longer term so that it can really report on your credit report a little bit longer. Is the pledge loan interest free? I believe the pledge loan is about 2.5% if I'm not making a mistake. I don't think so. Yeah, he said I don't think so, but sometimes you have to pay to play. Um, I do think it is like a low interest, but see the thing is, and this is why I really like the Navy federal loans. If you are getting the pledge loan and you're going to pay 90% of it off, technically, I think that's probably how you can bypass the interest, but I'm not for sure on that part 100% because for myself, when I had got my Navy federal auto loan, I had got it for 60 months and so I got it for 60 months with a 2.19% interest rate. I paid the loan off in a year and I only ended up paying less than one payment of my car loan for interest. When technically in a 60-month period, I think I would have ended up if I paid it how I was supposed to, I would end up paying maybe like $1,500 in interest on that loan, but I ended up only paying like $340 interest. So I think that's one way that you can get out of it. HR said, okay, HR said the same thing. HR said, I think it's like 2.5%, but don't worry. Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah. Because he said, okay, he said the same thing. And that's funny because I did not see it. Okay. Let me see. Um, Good advice. Low utilization, 2% on the cash rewards card. One pledge loan closed and open another one. Oh, yes. Also considering getting a third certificate with a 50% a direct deposit going in. I think that's really good. Oh, hold on. I don't know if I missed this one. Apple Car enters the chat. That's funny. Let me see. Gilbert 512 says, my favorite is the oh yes. I can see that. The American Express Gold. Yeah, I bet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. I definitely can see that. Cause it's just like on the one hand, like that gold or the rose gold, like that looks so good. But on the same hand, I don't know. I just don't want that $250 annual fee. Sorry, y'all. I'm just saying. Okay, so they updated the terms immediately after you pay 80 to 90%. Oh, okay. And the computer generates a new contract. Ty says, yeah, it doesn't seem like a bad deal, but I just had an account, direct deposit, and just build the relationship for sure. Also, I have a car loan with them, and the interest rate is really good. Exactly. I definitely feel like, and I would say it's not necessarily that it has to be Navy Federal, but I feel like by getting a credit union and you want to get an auto loan, that is the way to go because you're going to be able to get better interest rates. But see, on the same hand, because when I got my, well, the feds, they have increased the interest rates. But I'm just like, when I got my car loan in 2020, the interest rate, so I got my car loan October 20, the end of October 2020, and my interest rate was 2.19%. And I think right now, with the auto loans, y'all, I think like the lowest interest rate is 4.9. Let me see. Let me share my screen. Hold on. Yeah, 4. That's kind of high though. 4.54% on 36 months, 4.74 on a 37 to 60 months. But y'all, I'm just like, wow, they have 85 to 96 months, 7.84 interest rate. To me, I feel like that's kind of high. But I think that it's still going to be a lot lower than if you were to get the loan at the car dealership. Yeah. Woo. I don't know about that, y'all. Ty said, I got mine too. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, girl. 2.44%. And you know what? Y'all, I had kind of kicked myself because when I had got my auto loan, I did it for 60 months because I really, at the time, I knew that I was going to pay the auto loan off quickly. I had gave myself 3 years opposed to 60 months. And then I ended up, so technically I paid it off within 24 months and I could have got 1.79% interest opposed to 2.19% interest. So I was just like, but I only ended up, I didn't pay that much. I only paid like $340 in interest. So I guess that was too bad. That wasn't too bad. Hold on. Let's see. Akeem said, I agree. They can keep those annual fee. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. HR said, yeah, cause Capital One was tripping with that 6.5 they gave me. Oh man, before I had the Navy Federal and other credit unions. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. Woo. Yeah. Since the feds increased the interest rates, that is just, man, that is just awful. But y'all, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it's midnight here. But I'm one to I like to kind of be up late. So but I think because we've been going an hour and 38 minutes, but y'all, I just appreciate y'all for coming through on the live tonight. And y'all were so in the chat. I really appreciate it so much for y'all just being so supportive and just basically creating a community, chatting with each other and things like that. So I appreciate it. Let's see. The YouTube expert 6. You know what? The YouTube expert, it is so funny. Oh my gosh, because last week when I had did the chat, I was about to I was about to end, and I think you came in right at the end. Oh my goodness. How are you doing? Oh, what did HR say? HR said, by the way, you got me doing the factor meals, but they're not cheap. HR, that is so funny. I did the factor meals. It's been a while because, yeah, them factor meals be hitting your pockets, man. Them factor meals are kind of expensive, but on the same hand, like depending on, like, those factor meals are pretty good. Like, I like the factor meals, but I have not gotten them. It's been a couple of months since I got it because I had did it for like a few months, probably like 4 months, maybe a little bit longer than that. Oh my gosh, but they were good. And so let me see, what did HR say? HR said I skipped 2 months. I'm like, no, exactly. Oh man, HR. Let me tell you, HR. HR said they charge my card so quick I be forgetting. I just don't like. I know. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious because that's the thing. I will, and then you can also call them up and they can skip maybe like 6 weeks for you if you want to, because HR, it was hilarious. The last time I had got some meals, well, I would say the second to the last time I had got some meals, it was like, why was it like maybe that morning? So on Wednesdays for me, that's when I would have to cancel, and it was like that morning I had remembered, and I was like, dang, did I cancel it? And I did not cancel it. And then, see, the thing is, so I don't eat seafood. So I'm like, if I get some seafood, ooh, I'm gonna be so mad. But then, two, sometimes it, like, I'll get like 2 or 3 of the same meals. And it was hilarious, man. I was like so mad. And I called them up and I was asking if they would, you know, I'm just like, can you cancel it or can you change some of the meals or something like that? And I was like, no. But what they did, if you ever do that, you can call them up, and they ended up giving me like a $22 credit. So they ended up giving me a credit, and but I was like, man, but I did kind of like getting it because it ended up, they picked some things that I normally wouldn't get. And so I was able to taste some. And then a friend of mine, I gave her like a couple of them because I didn't want to waste it. You know what I'm saying? So I gave her maybe like 2 meals. And then, because see, I was getting like 6 and 8 meals. So I think I ended up getting 6 meals. And it was maybe only like 2 meals that I had really liked. So I was just like, man, like I never do that again. And so that's why I had did that video, and I was talking about, y'all, like, we have to make sure, because you know how it be those, those subscriptions and stuff like that you really be forgetting about. And I had did that with the Experian because I wanted to get all my credit scores and I had paid, and then they had ended up charging me $25. And then I do Fabletics. And so it's like a monthly thing. And then I have to make sure to cancel that. And so I was just like, whoa, but that was so HR. Oh my gosh. That was hilarious when they had, I was just like, crap, man, when they had charged me for those meals and I knew that I wasn't going to like it. I was like, dang. Let me see. What did Ty say? Ty said, I've tried Freshly's and HelloFresh, and I stopped them because it's like that plus buying groceries and eating out. It could be a lot. And see, that's the only thing. When I did the factor, because technically, I guess I was eating like 2 meals a day, 2 of those meals a day. But then still like on the weekend, so still gonna be like 2 or 3 days that I was gonna have to go get something to eat. And so then, on those days, I was really, because I'm gonna eat whatever I want. So, so it's like those factory meals are expensive. And then if I'm going out to eat, that's gonna be expensive. And so I'm just like, oh my gosh. But I did HelloFresh one time before. And I didn't really like HelloFresh, but I'm telling you, Ty, if I'm gonna look and see if I have any more credits for a factor. And if I have a credit to be able to get you at least 4 free meals or something like that, I'll look and see if I have because really you get I usually was able to get the free meals because I was ordering them all the time. But since I wasn't ordering, I wasn't getting it. But I think I might still have one free 4 meals to be able to give you 4 meals and you can try it. So I'll take a look, and if I can find it, I'll respond in one of your other comments. I'll see if I can find one. So if you're interested in trying the factor meals, because I don't know, I'm saying it's like the factor meals, man, because when I did HelloFresh, I probably did HelloFresh maybe like 2 months or something like that. But the factor meals, because they already pre-cooked, and then I put my factor meals in the oven. Man, I'll tell anybody to do those factor meals. But I would just try to make sure, that if I go to the store or if I go out to eat, but it really just depends, because I feel like if you're not going over budget, like, does it really matter? Even if you're spending more. So it really just depends on a person. But yeah, so I will take a look and see if yeah, that's what I'm saying. Especially yeah, them factor meals, woo, because they had because the thing is, really, I feel like especially for the meats, all of the meats were good. The meats, it was always worth it for the meats because they were always good. And I'll pretty much say the vegetables are pretty good. But see, like, my favorite was the chicken parmesan. And it's like, on the one hand, they was probably like, what, $14 a meal. And I'm just like, dang, if I went to the store, I probably could make that myself. Because see, the thing is, I can cook. And I like, one of the meals I really like to make is chicken parmesan, like a semi-homemade chicken parmesan. And so technically, if I did like a chicken breast and then I made the Alfredo, that's kind of, and then with broccoli, that's pretty much the that one recipe. So, but yeah, they got some pretty good. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you see, what did I say? I said the meats are always good, and the meats are always pretty tasty, and they're pretty seasoned well. But them veggies, man, them veggies don't have no salt on them. So yeah, you gotta put some salt and pepper on your vegetables. But the meats, hand down, was always good. And I'm trying to think. But HR, you have to let me know, did you like the keto chili? Man, that keto chili was my favorite, because what I would do, I would buy me those tortilla chips and I would eat that with my my keto chili, man. That chili was, ooh, that chili was fire. Let me see. What's up before the billions? How are you doing? Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, man. I'm telling y'all. Woo, man, that keto chili, y'all. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can go on here right quick. Let me see. Let me see if I can go on here right quick. And then we're gonna get out of here. Oh my goodness gracious. Let me see. Let me see if we can go on here. Oh man. It's gonna make me log in. See, it's not even doing me right. That is just cold-blooded, y'all. We can still go on here because normally I don't even have to. And see, they probably HR. They really trying me, HR, because they know I be canceling my meal. They know I be skipping my meals all the time. and they don't want me to skip. They want me to sign in because it's like normally I don't even have to sign in. It's like as soon as I go into Factor 75, it'll automatically sign me in. Yeah, but yeah, so this is how it comes. So yeah, here you go, right here, y'all. This creamy chicken parmesan. Oh my goodness, y'all. But I would say this one right here, the vegetables is pretty seasoned. I would say the vegetables are pretty seasoned. Um, let's see. What else do they have? I think I tried this one once, the shredded turkey Reuben. That one was not bad. And then the shredded chicken taco bowl, that was pretty good. Oh man, this one right here, this sour cream and chive chicken, that's like my third favorite because the keto chili is my favorite. Keto chili, like I would order like 3 of those. The keto chili was my favorite. Then the chicken parmesan was my favorite. And then the sour cream and chive is my favorite. Um, let's see. Yeah, so I think like if I was getting meals like this week, because it's like because I would get 8 meals, so it would be kind of tough because really I don't see anything that I would like. So it's just like pretty much I would probably, if I was ordering meals, I'd probably order like 3 of the sour cream and chive. Then I would probably order 1 of the shredded taco bowl, and then the rest of them I probably would order the creamy chicken parmesan. I'll probably order like 4 of those because it tastes so good, y'all. Let me see. Hold on. YouTube expert says I don't know, I'm a terrible cook, but I rather cook my own meals than TV dinners. And I'm just like, I don't know. YouTube expert, man, those meals that ain't got nothing on them Kroger TV dinners. Like this right here, this is real cooked food and it tastes so good. Let me see. Yeah. So I don't know. Yep. But all right. All right. Let me see. Oh, here's Brown Girl Bella. How are you doing? I hope that you're doing well. We are gonna be jumping off here soon because I've been on here almost 2 hours. But I definitely appreciate you from joining. Y'all have to go over to her channel. She has some good content because Brown Girl Bella, she's trying to get me, more experiences in, when you go to the airport and getting in the lounges and all that stuff and getting into business class. Because she said I need to upgrade myself because when I go to the airport, I'm not ever going into any of the the lounges or anything, y'all. And then I'll fly on Southwest, but I love Southwest. You know what I'm saying? So Brown Girl Bella said I need to upgrade myself and get in some of those lounges and stuff. So yes, y'all definitely have to go over to her channel because she really does a lot of travel. And yes, go over to her channel. But I definitely appreciate y'all so much for joining the chat. And I hope that y'all have a great night and a great weekend. So have a good one. Until next time. Peace. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.